Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us for episode 3 of Offshore Gishing. We are still here in Madeira Beach, Florida, waiting for our home to sell. So last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, depending on how long it took me to edit this video, sorry, we took a quick walk down to Madeira Beach to dip our toes in the Gulf, which is less than a mile from our house, but something we don't do nearly often enough. We then walked another mile on the beach and eventually made our way to the Cambria Hotel rooftop bar. Once we got there, we realized it was too noisy to actually record us saying anything. Picture, if you can, what it would be like if people were singing Elton John karaoke. Then you've got a good idea of the vibe at the bar. Aside from the views, the best thing about the bar is that they passed out sunset shots as the sun went down. Which is what everyone was so excited for. After we ate, we made our escape and called it a night. So we have another open house that's going on right now, today, and we thought we would make use of our time by bringing some more of our stuff to the storage unit. Everything we are putting in the storage unit is stuff that we are going to put on the boat. So everything else we are going to either sell or donate. Everything here is coming with us onto the boat. It's been a really interesting process of decluttering and getting rid of all of the stuff that we have accumulated in our lives. I'm sure many of you, like us, if you have the space, you fill it up and you just accumulate things. So it's been a different mindset shift to get rid of a lot of stuff. I've scanned all the photos, all the documents, even some old yearbooks. So I've been doing a lot of scanning. I've even taken pictures of some stuff so that I tell my family I'm gonna have a couple of Frameo frames in the boat, and I'll have one Frameo of like scenic photos, beautiful things, another Frameo of stuff I used to own. So I've taken pictures of a lot of things that we have gotten rid of because that's where the memory is. So it's been an interesting process to go through that. Really, it feels good though to just kind of declutter and get rid of some of this stuff. So it's a much simpler life that we are moving to, fewer items, fewer possessions. So here we are, we're gonna run this batch inside. Okay, we have a showing on the house, so we came to one of our favorite places to come get a snack, and that is Ululani's. So we're gonna have ourselves some shave ice.
And there's a rumor now that they have malasadas and spam musubi, so we're gonna see if that's true, and if so, I will sample it all.
Yes. I am back at the Bay Pines VA hospital today, and today I'm getting a liver ultrasound. So the reason I'm getting this is because my doctor recently discovered that I have alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. So I guess it's called alpha-1 for short. It's a genetic disease, a genetic thing that basically my body does not make enough of the alpha-1 antitrypsin enzyme. And what that means is, so it puts me at risk of liver cirrhosis and lung disease, emphysema. So I saw my pulmonologist a couple of weeks ago, and he described it as, so there's the lowest group, there's like the most severely deficient group of people that they really worry about, and then I'm just above that group. So there's a chance that nothing ever happens to me and I don't develop cirrhosis and I don't develop emphysema, or there's a chance I might. But I'm at the point where I can do things that will hopefully not exacerbate it. So obviously things like not smoking, which I don't do, so that's easy enough, and then limiting what I drink. So my doctor told me that basically, he described it to me as every one drink that I have, to my liver, that's the equivalent of 5 to 10 drinks, because I don't have enough of the enzyme to recover. And I guess the mechanism, I'm not exactly sure, I'm still learning about this, but I think there's a mechanism that the enzyme, I guess, folds over on itself, and then that causes the liver cirrhosis, I think. But basically, my pulmonologist described it to me as the alpha-1 antitrypsin is, he said, to think of it like a molecule that helps to fix things. And when you don't have as much of that molecule as you're supposed to have, then you should do things that don't exacerbate, that wouldn't lead to these things otherwise. So the no smoking and drinking less. I don't drink a lot to begin with, but I'll definitely cut back a little bit. So what this means now is, in the future, I think I'll have a liver ultrasound probably every year, every other year, just to make sure that I don't develop cirrhosis. And then I'll do a breathing function test every year, maybe 2 years, just to make sure my lungs are doing good, and a chest CT probably every year. So I've got lots of fun tests to do on top of all the other stuff that we check for. Basically, I feel like my entire torso region is just full of organs that are on the watch and wait list. Kidneys, we're just watching and waiting. Crohn's disease, it's in remission, so we just watch and wait. Hopefully it stays in remission. And then now my liver and my lungs, will just watch and wait. Hopefully nothing happens bad with them. So I feel like my whole torso region is just watch and wait. And then in the meantime, I'll try not to do anything that exacerbates anything. But so back here at the VA, gonna go get the liver ultrasound. I guess it's the first of many to come. Hopefully there's no cirrhosis. I don't think there will be. And then I'll be back for another appointment tomorrow to see my primary care doctor. So all good. Talk to you guys later. And I'm back. That was another super fast appointment. I'm always impressed with the VA. They take really good care of me and I get really good service here. But I got here, I think I parked the truck at 12:11, 12:10, 15, something like that. Got in, checked in, did the ultrasound. I'm all the way out here back in the truck at 12:30. So 15 minutes, super fast. Got right in, right out. They did what they needed to, and I'll get the results in a few days. I'm sure they're fine. She either had a really good poker face or she just didn't tell me anything. But it's done, and off to the next thing. It is a new day, and guess where I am? Yes, I am back at the VA hospital. Today is my appointment with my primary care provider, so I'm gonna go see her today. And great news, I already got my liver ultrasound results back because they were available in my portal, and my liver is perfectly normal, which I thought it would be, but nice to see. So to me, that means I don't have to give up drinking completely, which is great because we have quite a few very nice bottles of wine at home and in our cellar that I would very much like to partake in. So that is very good news. Also, on some of my lab work that I already got back, my kidney function is actually in the normal range, which it hasn't been in the normal range in years. So I don't know why or what caused it. Maybe my kidneys are excited for the next journey, but that is really, really good news. So I kind of feel like my whole body is just maybe trying to shape up and get in tip-top shape so that it can be ready, all my organs can be ready for this next adventure on the water. So all of that is really good news. So now I just have my annual appointment with my primary care provider, and that will be it for the VA appointments until my colonoscopy later this month. It is almost time for bed, but I forgot that it is my HADLIMA injection day today. So this is my injection for Crohn's disease to keep me in remission. I do this every 2 weeks. So I thought I'd bring you along for the ride since this week has been all about medical appointments so far. So I'll give you a look at what I do with this every 2 weeks. This is probably going to be my biggest logistical hurdle of moving and living on the boat because this has to stay refrigerated. So usually it gets shipped to me by FedEx, by the VA pharmacy, and then it comes with a little ice pack and then I have to keep it cold. So I don't know exactly how that's gonna work, but you guys will be with me as I figure out the logistics for this. But we're not on the boat yet. I still have this. So let's go do my injection. Okay, so I hope you can all see me down here. Basically what I have to do every week is I just check. I have to make sure that the liquid is clear, looks clear, it's all good. I'm getting used to these new, they're reusable cotton rounds. I don't know if I love them yet, but I'm getting used to them because anything that's not trash will be better for the boat. So obviously I washed my hands before, and then I just spread the alcohol on. And I have on my phone, I've taken pictures of the best injection spots. They're like, I use my freckles as kind of like a constellation, because there are certain spots where you hardly feel the injection at all, and then certain spots it gets a little spicy, I guess. Nothing that's like awful, but you can definitely feel it more. So I think I have the good spots that I know that I like, so I try to use the same spots every time. I usually switch legs every other week. So you have to do these in the leg or in the stomach. I do the leg every time. So once I got the alcohol on there, I pop off the little cap. It's a great little auto injector pen. So then I just calmly choose my little spot. same spot, and then I hope it doesn't hurt. Ooh, well, it didn't feel great, but actually it wasn't too bad. But anyway, a little bit, nothing came out. Like the medicine came out. It's an auto injector pen, so this is cool because you just press it and then the needle automatically pops, and then it dispenses the medication, and when it's done it just pops off. So I like that. Sometimes there'll be like a little drop of blood or a little drop of the medication is like on the skin at the end, but it all went in there. It's okay. That's done. I'll do this again in 2 weeks. See you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go to bed. So I just did the injection, but I think I forgot to actually explain what HADLIMA is. It is a biosimilar for Humira, and it's an immunosuppressant, and so it suppresses the immune system, but that helps to reduce the activity of diseases like Crohn's disease. The Humira, the brand name, I guess, Humira, HADLIMA is a biosimilar. So these medications, they're used definitely for Crohn's disease, some other things like rheumatoid arthritis, and probably a bunch more health issues that I don't know of that they treat, but they treat quite a bit. But they are an immunosuppressant, so I do have to watch out for that. But honestly, I feel like Jeff gets more colds and sick more often than I do, even though I've been on these. Anyways, I thought I would just tell you what that is. Now I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and Steph and I are here at our local park and currently have a home showing going on right now, which is among the more stressful things that I've done in the last several years, aside from watching myself on videos. So in person and in professional settings, I'll get up and speak in front of hundreds of people. I'm very calm and relaxed, and there's really no hesitation. And then it turns out watching myself on YouTube is a very different experience. So my gift to everybody watching is that you're going to be able to see how terrible I was in the beginning of this process. And in a couple years, we're going to come back, and turns out I'll actually know what I'm doing. So my goal is to be able to see that I'm improving and encourage others to do this. And obviously I'm setting the bar very low. So update on my eye. Went back to the doctor on Thursday, and she said everything is healing wonderfully, and we're tapering off eye drops for antibiotic and steroids, and so should be done by next week, and my prescription is pretty much where it is. So far vision has remained and has gotten incredible. I couldn't ask for better far vision. Near vision is just not going to be there without glasses, and so I am now in the position of needing readers, which Steph could not think is funnier, and going to go ahead and get some progressive readers that start out at a 0 prescription and go up to about a +1.5 or so. No big deal, but should allow me to see everything I need near and far. Any updates?
From me? We're at Madeira Beach. This is somewhere we haven't, well, we've been to Madeira Beach before, but we actually came to what's called Rock Park, which is like our city center in a town of 3,000 people. But it's got a really cool walking path, so this is kind of the area. We haven't actually been to this park and didn't realize there were all these really nice walking paths and really pretty views right here, and obviously recreation centers. We got baseball fields and all kinds of park activities, so this is kind of a fun experience this morning.
Yeah. To clarify, we have been to Madeira Beach because we live here, but we've been so busy working.
I said that.
I know. We've been so busy working. Once we first moved to Florida, we moved here 3 weeks before Hurricane Ian, so I immediately spent the first probably 9 months of our residency here down in Sanibel and Fort Myers and working all the time. So we've really not been able to go around to a lot of the things locally here that you would want to do. So we're going to keep working on that. In other news, unfortunately, our little Bahamas vacation is probably not going to happen because yet it will definitely happen, but eventually. But the boat that we want to buy is now back in Fort Lauderdale for at least a month or so. Then it'll be in the Florida Keys briefly, and our hope is at some time in the next month or two, the house closes with a contract and we get down there. But we'll now be meeting the boat in South Florida, which is not the end of the world, just not quite as fun as meeting it in Exumas or somewhere like that. So
not as exotic.
Not as exotic, but we're going to get there, and we plan to spend every year months in the Caribbean, Bahamas, wherever we might end up. So these are definitely first world problems, but that's all I know. And yeah, that's
probably about it for this week. So if we haven't bored you guys with all of our medical stuff this week, I promise it's not going to be all medical all the time. Look, we got a little fish over here.
We do.
It's kind of cool.
And we also
fishing on the pier.
Fishing on the pier.
But anyways, oh, wait, look at this. Little egret, what are they called?
It turns out we're not the only people that noticed a fish.
Let's get close to him. I think he's trying to walk away from me.
You know who'd know what that bird was? It's Ron and Suzanne.
They would.
My best friends from high school and avid bird watchers.
Been bird watching.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's not going to be all medical all the time. We promise it's going to be a lot more exciting, especially once we're on the water.
Yeah, that actually brings up a good point. Kind of a addition to my first point is that you're probably tuning into the channel and going, boy, for a channel about boating, there's not many boats so far. And we agree, and we're as annoyed as you are about that.
Hashtag boating. We don't have the boat yet, but it's coming.
So it's my new minimalist approach. It's actually been really liberating, getting rid of everything in the house and kind of slowly thinning things out. So I'm thinking of this as boating with no boat at this point. But
well, speaking of thinning things out, you did go to our wine cellar yesterday.
That's true, we did. So we started out, that's an interesting point in kind of the mental shift of moving on to a boat, is that you have to come to terms with, and it's actually pretty easy to do this, you have to come to terms with what defines you. And you pretty quickly realize that the things around you, the possessions, shouldn't, and they often do define people to a degree. But in Texas, we were the wine people, and we had a built-in wine cellar in the house, and I'm sure Steph can flash a little still up onto the screen. Beautiful wine cellar, temperature controlled. The flooring was actually made from the tops of old wine barrels, and we had probably 3,000 bottles of wine at the peak. And so when we moved to Florida, we knew we weren't going to be able to find a house that had a wine cellar in it. And so we sold off probably more than half of those bottles, and then kept some in cold storage and some in the house, and sent 2 more lots to auction since then. And so by mid-April, we ought to be down to more like 400 or 500 bottles of wine, which is still ridiculous, but nowhere near the 3,000 that we had. And so that all happened as well this week. We're going through the inventory, figuring out what to keep and what to sell. And the boat will have a small refrigerator that holds about 42 bottles at a time, which is still a ridiculous amount of wine to have on hand. So now I think that's all I know.
That's all we know. So thanks for joining us again on these adventures this week or two. There might be 2 weeks, about 10 days in here. So thanks for joining us on these adventures around Madeira Beach. And next week, we'll see what next week brings. Maybe we'll actually go outside of Madeira.
And
go
hopefully our
somewhere
next
else.
video will be an update that we have a contract on the house. So
Fingers crossed.
we'll see you then.